Hey, y'all. Got a special edition of the Outer Banks This Week podcast coming at you here in just a few moments. I want to first apologize. I recorded this podcast, this special edition, probably, I want to say it was at the end of February, first part of March, with the individuals that are about to be interviewed. It is the Battle Scarred Outdoors Heroes Benefit Fishing Tournament Special Edition. And I meant to get this out much sooner than I did. I got crammed up with some other things, so I want to apologize for not getting this out sooner. But this is a great benefit for the veteran community taking place. The jump off point for it is at Frisco Woods on Hatteras Island. And I'm going to turn it on over and we're going to jump right into this special edition, the Outer Banks This Week podcast. All right, special edition of the Outer Banks This Week podcast. Sitting in front of me right now are two very amazing gentlemen, hearts of gold, giving back to their communities, giving back to the veterans in the communities at that. Getting ready to have a big fishing tournament coming up in the month of May. I've got Mr. Tim Bates and I've got Mr. Kerry Earnhardt sitting here with me to talk about Battle Scarred Outdoors and all that it entails and everything with the tournaments and whatnot. Gentlemen, how we doing today?
Doing good, Justin. How you doing?
Man, you've got an interesting last name, Mr. Kerry.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
I mean, Earnhardt. I'm trying to figure out where I've heard that last name before.
Might have been around the circle track somewhere.
So maybe I think you're right. You know what? I think you're onto something. We'll get to that in a minute. I'll figure it out here in just a second as we keep talking. But guys, Battle Scarred Outdoors. Talk to me about what y'all's mission is. Talk to me about the projects that y'all participate in. Give me the rundown of Battle Scarred Outdoors and y'all's history. Because I mean, Mr. Bates, you're a veteran.
Yes, sir.
So get in front of that mic now. Don't be scared of it. There you go. Bring it to you. There you go. Okay. So talk to me a little bit about y'all's history, as a veteran and everything like that, and what inspired this whole project.
So when I got to a point in life after I got out of the military so I could give back to other folks, I wanted to get involved with a nonprofit that when you donated $100, for example, to an organization, that $100 went to the mission. It didn't go to pay salaries and executives, giving back to the veteran and first responder community. So Battle Scarred Outdoors is an all-volunteer nonprofit, and our mission is to get organized hunting and fishing trips. And we do events like the tournaments and golf tournaments to raise money so that when veterans and first responders come out, 90% of the time it doesn't cost them anything out of pocket other than just showing up.
Okay, so that answers some questions in a lot of ways, and I can appreciate where your heart is with all of that in regards to, because sometimes, when you donate, you give them the money and you can't really trace it back in a lot of ways to where.
Not sure where it goes.
Not sure where it goes. Exactly. You, sir, have taken and been like, look, you give me the money. Here's where it's going. Exactly 100% where it's going to go, what it's going to be paid for. And I think I've actually seen not a monetary breakdown or an itemized report, but you were like, your money does this, and this.
Yes, sir.
For veterans, that sort of thing. So that's admirable. That's really admirable because a lot of people, they wouldn't, look, you give me $100, I'm pocketing 70 of it and I'm going to give them 30.
Yes, sir.
No, 100% goes right back into the veteran community.
That's right.
Awesome. Awesome. And now what branch of the military were you in?
I was in the Army. I was a Bradley mechanic.
You were a Bradley mechanic.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You worked on that 25 Mike?
Not much. More so to track.
More. Okay.
the whole, and at my time in the military, they combined the turret and the track mechanic into one MOS. But I spent more time on the track side than the gun side.
I got you. So when anybody would spin and break track, you were called in to help.
Well, a lot of times I let the grunts do their job and I supervised, if you will.
Gotcha. So you would let them stay at the dash 10 level.
That's right.
Gotcha. And you were at a 20, 30 level.
But more so if it was their responsibility. You got to learn.
Right.
It's your equipment, so you're going to take care of your equipment, but I'm here to help you if you need it.
Got it. I see, said the blind man. So enter Mr. Kerry Earnhardt. Now, how did you two get together? Talk to me about that union. About
3.5, 4 years ago, we were raffling off a fishing trip out of Hatteras, and I got a phone call, I actually got a phone call, and it said Renee Earnhardt, and I was like, no freaking way. I'm at my wife's softball game, and I was like, no way, this is a missed dial or a spam call.
Spam call, right.
So I answered the phone, and Kerry's like, hey, man, I want to buy some raffle tickets. And I was like, Who is this?
What?
Yeah. Well, I stumbled across this organization probably 5 years ago and kind of followed it and watched it. Rich Tadero is the founder of Battlescar Outdoors, and he does all the hunts around the North Carolina side and where I'm at, around Charlotte area, and met Tim through Rich. I was brought aware of Tim through Rich about doing these offshore fishing raffles. And so he gave me Tim's number, and that's when I called him up, this phone conversation he's talking about right now. And what impressed me with this organization is, like Tim said, all the funds that are raised and donated goes right back into what this organization's about, is that's helping our heroes.
Right.
We call them heroes because it's, veterans, first responders, medic, all above. So, they give back and do all this. Well, I ended up going on a trip with him, and I seen what a difference it made in these guys' lives that come out and hung out, just sitting around the cabins and talking, and then we get out on the boat. It's the camaraderie they have together, and I'm like, this is real. It's not like other organizations that do stuff, but they also take money away from that to help support them. And that's what I have a hard time with, is all the funds you raise should go back into your purpose,
right?
Not to help fund your pocket.
Absolutely. I don't disagree with that at all. I mean, I can appreciate some administrative costs when it comes to flyers, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like there's sometimes those things they just
trailer insurance.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things that the money is going to have, some of the money is going to have to be used for, but you're not using it to try to get rich off of anybody.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So there you go. I mean, and that's beautiful. And one thing that, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And the other thing that I've had with some various, whether it's staffers or other organizations, you have a lot of, hey, look, I'm helping this guy out. Here's $100. And I got to get it on video, so to speak.
Right. Yeah.
If you look through Facebook, very seldom do you see me in any picture. Folks know who I am because of what I do in the public. But when I go out and do these trips, like Kerry said, you call them heroes. Well, like to you and I as veterans, the heroes are the guys that never made it home.
Right. Yeah.
To the 100%. Average Joe, the heroes, the verbiage is considered like first responders, your fire, EMS, police, LEOs, whether it's state, local, federal law enforcement, any branch of the military service. But I'm big on like trying to capture photos of the moment for the guys to conserve their memory while I organize it and everything, and folks know who I am in the community associated with Battlescar. But I try not to be that person that's like a phone hog, so to speak.
Right. No, 100%. And like, I've seen some of the pictures here over the last few days, and just so people know, like we're recording this like early March. Y'all are actually in the middle of a tournament right now.
Yes, sir.
We're going to put this out a little bit later this month. So when people are hearing this, they're going to be like, oh, well, they recorded this a few weeks ago, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
That's right. That's real life.
But the thing is like, I've seen like some of the pictures that you've taken of like the different things people can win from prizes, from raffles and things of that nature. Some of the things like when y'all been at Carolina barbecue, eating, lunch or whatnot, or dinner, like I don't see you. I see you taking pictures of everybody else. I know who's taking the pictures, but it's not like you're selfie, trying to, look at, I'm Mr. Tim, look at me, look at all this partying I'm doing sort of thing.
That's
you know what I mean? Like, and I can appreciate that a whole lot. But one thing that Mr. Earnhardt said just a moment ago was he noticed when he would be out on these trips with veterans, like the camaraderie and the brotherhood that is, and that is so true.
Yes,
That's
sir.
so true. One of my best friends in the world is somebody I was in the Army with. He lives in Texas. He lives in Dallas, Texas. I don't get to talk to him as often as I'd like to, but like I knew that if I called him, he'd be on the first plane here. You know what I'm saying? Like
that 1 a.m. phone call that he would answer.
Yes, that is if I needed him at 1 o'clock in the morning, he would pick it up and be like, obviously I can't be there in an hour or even two, but like I'm on the next plane, that sort of thing. And I mean, and vice versa. So
yes.
Anyway,
I'll share a story with you. I can't remember if the first year if Kerry was involved. I think the second year Kerry was involved. So we started this, and I know we're gonna get more into this later, but kind of how pieces everything together, if you will. We done the second or third annual Heroes Offshore Venture down in Hatteras, and we had 20 vets, I think, that year. So it would have been the second year. And one of the vets that won the trip sent me a private message and said, hey, look, just so you know, like this is the first glimmer of hope I've had. Like my wife left me, lost my job. She took the kids. contemplating the demons of suicide. And this was the first glimmer of hope that I've had. Like, I'm really looking forward to it. So him and I talked offline a little bit about, life, first one thing another, trying to be the good battle buddy to help him out, to keep the demons at bay. Well, he shows up and gets to talking to one of the vets that was in attendance. And oddly enough, this vet was doing good for himself in life. Like, had his own job, construction job. And he got talking to the guy. He said, "Hey, I tell you what, if you show up in my house Monday morning when we get back, I'll give you a job, and I'll even give you a work truck to drive."
Nice.
So oddly enough, that trip, the wind blew us out. We had to cancel all the fishing. I told the guys, like, "Hey, look, y'all got first right of refusal. Come back next year." So most of those guys, those two particular individuals, come back. And one of the guys that come back the third year, when we got dinner donated Friday night, and Saturday night, our goal was to go spend money at the tavern after donating the night prior. And one of the vets new for that year had come. He didn't have the money to pay for dinner. The vet that was struggling the year prior was like, "Hey man, don't worry about it. I got you." So to see it all come full circle was just phenomenal. Like, that's why we do what we do. And it might be one or two cases a year and you help 200, 300, 400 vets, but it's those one or two lives that you save that year that makes all the other headache and frustration worth it.
Tell you what, goosebumps.
Yep. Yes, sir.
The goosebumps just going crazy on me. That's amazing. I tell you, man, that is absolutely phenomenal. Love hearing stories like that. I love the fact that y'all poured into these individuals and you're seeing the fruits of your labor and making it work for them. I mean, you've walked down the road. So, you know what it's like to be, veteran returning and just wondering what the world's going to be like when you get back. And for some people, it's a little better than others. So the fact that y'all been able to pour back into these individuals, and of course, getting two people that are from different walks of life in the same spot, one of them struggling, the other one's doing pretty good. And he's like, "Hey, you show up, I got you a job in a work truck." And then to see a year later where they're at, I mean, it's great. That's, I mean, I know that's very rewarding for you guys. And I mean, I think about this in a spiritual sense. Me and my man upstairs, I try to be pretty close with him. And I mean, I call it storing treasures. You're storing them away. So, anyway, so we got a tournament going on right now, but by the time this comes out, that tournament is going to be come and gone. Bluefinning. We're bluefinning right now.
Yes, sir.
Right now.
But you got another tournament that I've actually come down and hung out for and been a part of down at the end of May. Now, that's your big meat fish tournament. Talk to me about this tournament that y'all do right there at the end of May.
So this started, Kerry's got this vision when he come on board about wanting to see things grow, getting support. The captains down in Hatteras, we got to joking about the time Kerry got involved with us about, "Hey, if y'all can continue to grow this annual Heroes Offshore Adventure, you should start a fishing tournament." And I'm like, "Man, I don't know anything about fishing tournaments." So oddly enough, we're joking with the captains about starting the fishing tournament. Kerry comes down and goes fishing, and he's asking me like, what's my vision of Battle Scarred Outdoors in the next few years, and what do I like to do? And I had dropped the mention of let's start in a fishing tournament, and I thought nothing else about it. So we get back in from the boat, and Kerry's like, "Hey man, I need to talk to you." And I'm like, "Oh shit, like somebody's done pissed Kerry off. Like, this is the first time I've got Kerry out involved, and like somebody's done pissed him off. He never wants to work with us again."
My mind was going wide open after that first conversation that morning, and I was like, I thought about it all day, and I thought when I came on board, so I created Earnhardt Outdoors years ago, in intentions of having my own outdoor show on TV, and through learning all the sponsorship and how everything works, it didn't make sense to do it because you kind of just break even, and just wasn't anything I could see progress from that. So I backed up, rebranded partner with businesses in my hometown to help bring awareness for their companies. First partnership we had was Schumacher Homes. Me and my wife partnered with them, had 13 home designs with them that we still continue today. And that's been 11 years ago. Okay. And so since then, I've partnered with Old Armor Beer Company in Kannapolis, Old Town Soap Company in Kannapolis, and also Local Patriot Roasting Company. And that's local businesses downtown Kannapolis where I grew up. They're, trying to strive and survive. And, I come on board and brought the awareness with the name. And, I'm fortunate to have this opportunity. And that's when I was, seeing what Tim was doing and how passionate, how aggressive he is with, presenting with Battle Scarred Outdoors and how he wants to grow it. And I'm like, why don't I just come aboard and we could help, maybe the name would bring attention. And so we partnered with him 3 years ago.
Yes, sir.
And that's when, we went on that fishing trip and you're talking about this tournament. And I'm like, man, you either do it or you don't.
Right.
So I've got your back. I'll do what I can to put into it. And, that's where it all started. So we started putting together and getting feedback with, captains down here as far as like tournament rules and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got Captain Marty to help me make the rules. And then, of course, having Kerry's support was just phenomenal. I mean, and he's given me the blessing. I can walk in somewhere and say, hey, Kerry Earnhardt is my assistant tournament director. And I mean, the name alone carries clout.
So Earnhardt. Now it's starting to come full circle. Got it. This gentleman is actually kin to Dale Earnhart Sr. and Jr.
And
Jr.
And Kelly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Junior and Kelly might be my brother and sister some way. Somehow.
There you go. I mean, of course, I already knew that, but I gotta draw it all back for some people that may, you gotta. This is podcast. You've got to. It's theater of the mind. You got to draw it all together.
So, Justin, you want to talk about full circle? My granddaddy used to race dirt tracks back in the 60s and 70s. And he won a lot of championships at local tracks. He's raced against Dale Sr., Ralph Earnhardt, Lee Petty, Richard Petty.
Oh, Lord.
His dad put my granddad in the wall coming out of turn 4 at one of the local dirt tracks. I mean, you're talking 50
and
years ago now.
We're still not holding a grudge about it.
So to be able to work with the Earnhardt, and my granddaddy swore off. My granddad was a huge NASCAR fan. He was become a Jeff Gordon fan when Jeff Gordon started racing. So me and my dad being Earnhardt fans, my granddad being Gordon fans, it was like a rivalry. And of course, the Earnhardt-Gordon rivalry was all over the country.
Right.
So to be able to work with an Earnhardt is like, everything in life just comes full circle.
Yes, full circle.
That's wonderful. That's a cool story though, man. Definitely.
Maybe it's kind of, giving back for what Dad did to your granddad.
There you go.
Maybe it's how it's working out.
You're talking one race and we're going into year 3.
Going into year 3. Yeah.
Well, guys, talk to me a little bit more about this tournament. Now, how does it all work for this big tournament at the end of May? Well, give me the dates for it.
The dates for the tournament. I just had
it's the last weekend, isn't it? Like Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It's
the last
weekend
in May?
full weekend. So the first year we did it, we had registration on Friday, and it was a one-day fish tournament.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, if you know anything about the weathers in the Outer Banks, it's never predictable.
No.
So the captains in the area is like, hey, let's do a 2-day tournament and have one of the days as lay day. And we get a lot of support for the organization from the charter boats, not so much the private boats, but more so the charter boats. So in an attempt to appease everybody, which in life you'll never be able to do, we created a 2-day tournament with 1 day lay day. The charter boats that want to come out and be supportive, they can have essentially one team fish on Saturday, one team fish on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And the boat, that way the average angler, our goal with these tournaments is, 1, we want everybody to have fun. And number 2, we want to raise money for Battle Scarred.
Right.
And we want the average Joe to be able to afford to fish in these tournaments. So we don't have $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 entry fees. Our base entry in May is $500 to fish the 3 fish aggregate for the day.
Mm-hmm.
The bluefin tournament we got here, it's $1,000 as main entry, and then the Calcuttas are in the $500 to $1,000 range. So it's very cost effective, so that you can afford it with some buddies. Go pay to fish charter boat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're in it for $3,000 to $5,000, depending on what Calcuttas you got, and that includes the charter.
Right.
So you're talking $400, $500, $600 a person to go fish in the tournament, and it supports a nonprofit. So the tournament in May, registration is May 29th, and then the fish day is the 30th and 31st, and all the festivities are down at Frisco Woods Campground.
Yes, I was down there talking to Miss Stacy not long ago. I think she's ready to get geared up with you guys again. So
I tell you, they've been a great sponsor and supporter of Battle Scarred Outdoors, providing all the lodging and everything we have to have for this tournament, and also for this trip we take the veterans and heroes out in September. She helps us with a lot of that. It's pretty much take over the whole campground, and she's always very
gosh.
supportive and excited about
Yes.
it. And
She is running all over the place.
she's all over the place. We have a good time, and she's a great lady.
We took out 54 vets and first responders this past September for our 5th annual Heroes Offshore Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And Kerry's like, we're going to go 60 next year. I said, but we can't grow but so much. I was like, we don't have many cabins left to get.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're going to break 60.
I remember the first tournament. He's like, man, I think we get like 20, 25 boats. I'm like, I'd be happy with whatever. You know, it's our first year.
Yeah.
And we ended up with 8 boats the first year.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second year, we thought, oh, we might get, 15, 20 maybe this year.
Uh-huh.
So awareness has gotten out. We got 10. And he's like, man, it's kind of, I don't know. I said, look, think about the Big Rock. I looked this up. The Big Rock tournament started out with 2 boats when they first started.
Right.
Look where they're at now. I don't know if I want to get that big, but I'd like to grow this so we could continue to take more and more heroes offshore fishing in September.
Right.
Like I said, first year, I think we took 20.
The very first year I did it in Wanchese, we had 12. The first year we went to Hatteras, I had 20, then 30, then 45, 54 last year.
Yeah.
And I sat down with Stacy the end of last year to make sure I had the BSO cabin reservation. And I said, look, Kerry said we're doing 60 vets next year. And she looked at her reservation. She's like, well, just so happens you're in luck. I got 1 extra cabin. You leave me with 5.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
She's something else down there. And I'll tell you, anytime I've been down there to hang out with you guys and see what's going on and participate in the festivities is always a good time. Now, lots of things that go along though. I mean, so I kind of want you to talk a little bit about some of the things that like people can do. Like, fishing is obviously the big part of this when it comes to the tournament in May. But if people are at the campground or they're down in Hatteras Village, they can come by and get plates. Because I mean, you've had like what BJ's Carolina Cafe was catering one last year, and I mean, but people can come by like and buy plates and participate in the raffles and things of that nature too, right? Can't they come do those things?
I'll tell you how spontaneous we are, if you will.
Okay.
So last year the weather on Saturday was horrible,
Bad.
to the point that we were having to pull everything in because in the evenings the afternoon thunderstorms were so bad.
Coming off the sound,
And
yeah.
Everybody registered Friday. Everybody announced that they were doing their lay day for Saturday and going to fish Sunday. So we decided to extend registration just in case. And we pick up 1 or 2 extra boats. Hell, that's 1 or 2 extra boats we didn't have. And about 11 o'clock at night, we're sitting there underneath the tent, all shooting the breeze. And Kerry's like, let's do a cornhole tournament. I said, but it's 11 o'clock at night. He's like, put a post up on the page.
Yeah. And Stacy, of course, she shares everything and blasts out, and she's got a good following.
She does.
And
very true.
I think that helped a lot with her support and getting it out there. But it was a lot of fun. We had a good time. And
at 12 o'clock, we had 12 teams throwing back.
Yes.
So in 12 hours, we picked up 12 teams, and we put no effort into it. So Kerry's like, hey, why don't we make a cornhole tournament every day next year? I was like, okay.
Okay.
I mean, everybody loves cornhole,
Yeah.
It might be some other things we have ideas on. And I think we're going to do a kids fishing tournament also at the same time in the campground, so the kids can get involved, just have something to do.
Something to do.
Yeah.
So our biggest support at that tournament is from the folks there at the campground. So our goal this year, if you will, is to come up with ways to get the campground more involved with activities of stuff that they can do. We'll still have the tournament. The guys will be offshore. We'll have the weigh station. The tournament itself will be catered around the tournament, but we also want festivities for those at the campground because, I mean, the first year we had 5 boats and we still netted 10 grand.
Same.
Last year we had 9 boats and we netted almost 18 grand.
Okay.
And all that comes from support from the campground.
Same.
And like I said, we open up to public, come in, they can buy a plate and, join in on the raffles. We have 30 to 40 items we raffle off. Easy. And
they're nice. I mean, you got some nice stuff.
Nice stuff.
Real nice stuff that are being raffled off.
We've been blessed with, Arctic came on board as a sponsor last year. They donated a lot of coolers and tumblers. I mean, we still got to pay for some stuff,
Right.
But I mean, they have been very generous in what they've helped us with the last 2 years and are committed to coming back and helping us. I mean, they were a big sponsor for the Bluefin tournament this weekend.
Very awesome. Very awesome. Well, guys, let me ask you this now. Where can people find more information about Battle Scarred Outdoors and the tournaments and stuff like that. If they want to participate, they want to come and just, even if they don't fish, they just want to come and be a part of the festivities and things that are going to be taking place down there in Frisco for the tournament. Where can people find information about this?
Where you go every time? Facebook.
Yeah. So you just type in Battle Scarred Outdoors.
Yeah, Battle Scarred Outdoors, and also Heroes Benefit Fishing Tournament. That's going to be the one we have in May. So I'll have all the information, the rules, and everything we're going to be doing during that week.
Now, can they register through, like if they wanted to register, can they register online, or how does that work?
Yes,
Talk to me about that.
There'll be some links on our tournament page. That's actually facebook.com/fish.bso.eo.
Okay.
Is the user handle for the tournament Facebook page. Once we get past the Bluefin tournament this weekend, sometime around the middle of this month, I'll have registration, official pre-registration open for the May tournament.
Okay. Excellent. What I'm going to do is when I go to put this online, I'm going to have a link for people to click on to get more information, to steer them in y'all's direction.
Yeah,
any questions and things that they may have, they can direct them right towards y'all. Because people sometimes start asking me questions. I'm like, you got to talk to Mr. Tim. He'll tell you. You know what I mean?
And then of course, all of our rules for the tournament, everything's posted online. The biggest thing I ask everybody, at the end of the day, our organization's volunteer. I'm the guy that updates the website. Kerry's been trying to help me get some sponsors, and they'll go online like, man, you don't have this, this, and this. And Kerry's first response back to them is, well, at the end of the day, they're a volunteer organization. He's doing his best. And then they're instantly like, oh shit, like I'm committed.
Yep. Yeah.
So like people understand that, you're not getting paid to do this. So I'm not the latest up to date, but when I have free time, I can update stuff. So just be patient with us. That I think everything is up to date as of today for this year's tournament.
Okay.
Minus a couple of the sponsors that have already committed. We're always looking for sponsors. We're adding this youth tournament. Like I'm looking for sponsors to help me donate stuff because I want to give away a bunch of shit to kids. Sorry for cussing.
Yeah, no, you're good. I got a censor button. I can hit the beep if I need to. Okay, like I said, this ain't gonna go live until I edit it. So
right. Yeah. Yeah, we like to have some great prizes for the kids to win. Like I said, these coolers and these flags we have made and are awesome things, and adults love them. But I've been trying to brainstorm in my head what would be great for kids, and I'm just trying to keep around outdoors. Thinking whether it's fishing or. Something to keep hiking gear, tent, or something
keeps them off of these.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
yes,
those things right there.
Electronic devices.
Yes, walking around with their tablets and their iPads and their Game Boys.
Yes, sir.
So that's good Lord. That's the
world today.
Or whatever pandemic. I don't know what you call it, but it's one of them. So, well, guys, I appreciate y'all giving me some time. Did we leave anything out? I don't want to cut us short now. I feel like we covered the gauntlet.
Yeah.
So more information, check out the Facebook page. And of course, I'm going to post that in the description. It's going to have a link for people to click on to go get more information and talk to you guys directly about what y'all do with Battle Scarred Outdoors and what it all benefits the Heroes Benefit Fishing Tournament that's coming up at the end of May, so that you can take a group of them offshore in September.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So we started the May tournament was started solely with the focus of raising money to fund the September trip as we continue to grow that. And then any additional funds left over, we spend on additional trips throughout the year. I mean, that's kind of how we were able to do. We just took some guys on a bluefin trip 2 Saturdays ago, or this past Saturday. And oddly enough, we had a couple guys back out Friday morning or Thursday morning. I put a post up last minute, like, hey, we've got a slot open for this Saturday. It's last minute, just so you have a heads up. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, we had a guy comment on the page. Well, obviously, I'm not up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I woke up and I saw it and I reached out to the guy and I said, hey, man, like you were the first one to comment. You got first right of refusal. Are you committed to going? And he said, absolutely. I'm looking at flights. And I'm like, looking at flights? Like, bud, like the trip's tomorrow. He's like, yeah, I'm in Oklahoma. I've never been offshore fishing. I'd like to go offshore. I said, well, like the weather is subject to cancel the trip. And he's like, I've never been offshore fishing. I've always wanted to go bluefin fishing. If I can go, I'll book my flight right now. I said, well, absolutely. But like, you understand there's a chance.
Yeah. I mean, you got to give them the disclaimers here.
I just want to make sure before somebody spends that kind of money. And he gets here, they end up catching 10 bluefin.
Nice.
And, of course, you got to release 9 because you only keep one under 73. And he gets back to the doc. He said, but it was worth every penny. I've always wanted to do this. I had never had the opportunity. And he's like, what do I owe you? I was like, but you don't owe me nothing. He's like, well, y'all covered dinner and hotel and the fishing charter. Like, I owe you something like that. Like, I just glad you had a good time. And he's like, but it was like the best trip I've ever done.
That's pretty awesome, man.
I mean, of course, he was a vet, but it was the ability of having the opportunity presented. He probably could have got some buddies and made a road trip, but for him to come out and hang out with other like-minded individuals, he said, but it was worth every penny. I'd love to do it.
Man, that's so cool. Yep. That is so cool, guys. Well, before we really wrap this thing up, any shout outs? Do we want to shout out to any sponsors or anything like that? Anybody that's jumping off out of your head that you want to shout out to, the wife, anybody?
A couple of our biggest ones, of course, like we've mentioned, Frisco Woods Campground down in Hatteras.
Right.
Year in and year out since we started that partnership, they're probably one of our biggest contributors throughout the year. Like I said, we picked up Arctic Coolers the last 2 years. We picked up Jack Links. Cummins has been
Jack Links beef jerky.
Yes, sir.
Shut up! Yeah. Y'all come in here and even bring me no beef jerky. Yes, okay.
So this is the reason you have to come see us.
You got to come hang out.
You get
got beef jerky.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm there.
I know I'd get you there soon.
Well, okay. So, and then of course, Shadowback Bay Club's definitely been good to y'all. Mr. Charles over there got y'all squared away for the tournament that's taking place currently.
Yeah, that tournament was amazing. This was like 3 months ago. Tim called me up. Hey, man, I've been reached out to, wanting to know if I want to take over a bluefin tournament that's supposed to happen. And I was like, 3 months, man. So, let's go. We could do it.
Let's go.
We've done it. We could do it. And so, yeah, it's a lot of contributions from Charles with Shadow Bay Bag, Shadowback Bay Marina, and
Salt and
Cypress.
Good folks
Kitchen
over
and
there.
Cocktails. Bridget there, she's been very supportive and offering a lot of help. And Clint and John, they've done a lot for us. John's actually reached out and talked to Tim about this tournament, and Clint's got the word out there to the few boats that we've gotten, and we got another opportunity where we have opened up Saturday for outboard fishing boats.
Okay,
smaller boats to be come on board and be able to fish in a tournament, and then they're probably going to be out there anyway. It's going to be a beautiful day, so why not? So
why not? Yeah, I don't blame you.
And so we're very thankful for all the help we've had around here, and then looking forward to our May tournament. And as things grow, if we continue doing this one here in March, we're doing, maybe we could convert some of those more sponsors over, like we have with the Arctic and Jack Links, to come on board. And True Timber Camo, they've been a big supporter of
forget about those
supplying all our staff shirts and everything.
Good looking shirts. I'm looking at them right now. They're beautiful.
Yeah, I know Rusty.
That's the right way to say it. But anyway,
Rusty's over there. He created this company, True Timber Camo, and Bass Pro has partnered in with him several years ago. So he's all over in Bass Pro and Cabela stores, and he's a big supporter of mine. So I got to be a good friend with him before he actually became a business partner. So
excellent.
He's been very supportive. So anything I bring up, he's like, "You go on board. Let's go.
Let's go. You got to love that. It's like if you were to walk into his room and say, "Hey man, I need the keys to your car," he's going to toss them to you, no questions asked. It's good to have friends like that.
It is.
That's good.
I'm very blessed and fortunate to have the relationships I have grown through racing and everything that I'm looking at as we grow, bringing some on board to help support us. And we've reached out to one of the biggest ones I have, and that's from my 11-year relationship with Schumacher Homes. And it was a little late for this tournament, but for May, he's already wanting information and stuff for that. So
very nice.
I'm looking forward and excited for them to be on board with us and help support us also.
That's awesome.
A couple other of my, I'm gonna say the local BSO sponsors. So we got Killed Over Rum, helps us with almost every event. Layden Supermarket in Belvedere.
Okay.
Almost anything we do, Charlie, especially if it's something he can donate meats for, he's all in.
Got it.
And I bring Charlie out on a couple trips because of what he does for us throughout the year.
Cool.
Pepsi Ballin Ventures, the Odyssey Collective does all my digital work. Being up there in Elizabeth City and being able to be there with him. He does all my flyer designs and help me with printing shirts and stuff. Then we picked up Tito's as a big sponsor last year. They've been a big contributor. So if you like vodka,
Okay.
There might be a couple extra bottles laying around because
They're very generous with their vodka.
Oh, okay.
And
They donate quite a bit. So.
And they help us out on the back end monetarily in addition to the product. So,
okay.
That's about it.
There's
still some other sponsors, but I mean those are the main ones. You know, I started, the more events I started doing, I got so frustrated. I'd have to go to the same, let's say 5 or 6 sponsors and say, hey, can I get $200? Can I get $500? I want to do XYZ this weekend. And then my wife mentioned almost 4 years ago now, this past Christmas, of, hey, what are you going to do to raise money? And I was like, I don't know. I've got to find something other than beating up the same handful of sponsors every year. So I started a golf tournament up in Moyock in the month of October. It was in May, but the first year we had the tournament, I had the golf tournament. 2 weeks later, I had the fishing tournament. I was like, I'll never do this again. I was like, I'm canceling the golf tournament because I enjoy fishing. I've never played around the golf.
Tim's got a lot of help when it comes time for the event, but preparing and prepping up to the event is a one-man band right there. He does a lot. And I wish I was close. I'm about 6 hours away. I wish I was closer to be able to come and help out, because I feel bad and guilty because, I'm sitting here and reaping the labor of love, and he's sitting here.
But look, you're here now, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you can appreciate the fact that he's doing a lot of the behind the scenes, building up and leading up to. But I mean, at least you're here. You could still be sitting 6 hours away and being like, oh yeah, I got you them sponsors. Yeah, you're good. Take care.
It ain't about that. I like to see the outcome of it, and
it's not your nature. It's definitely not your nature.
Battle Scored Outdoors, and
my biggest saving grace is he trusts me enough that I can represent his brand.
Yeah,
so.
There you go, and that's important. And that's a
lot. It's more my wife trusts him enough.
Now
Renee, she's very tight on people speaking on my behalf and stuff, and
right.
Yeah, she's watched this with myself, and I'll show her everything, and she's bringing out ideas or suggestions, and she's very.
So that's where all your good suggestions come from.
They all come from our wives. I'm sitting there as he's talking. I'm thinking my wife does the same thing to me. I'll be like, "Hey, honey, I'm gonna say this," and she's like, "Don't you dare!"
I let her give me ideas, but as far as things that, this one sponsor I'm talking to, she don't know about that yet.
Oh, we're gonna keep a lid on that.
She learns about doing ask for forgiveness.
There you go.
Better give her a heads up for the podcast.
Well, guys, I appreciate y'all coming in and hanging out with me. Battle Scarred Outdoors, big fishing tournament to benefit the heroes of that have gone and fought and done for our country. That big tournament is coming up in the end of May. The actual. What it's going to benefit is the offshore fishing that's going to take place in September.
Heroes Offshore Venture.
Yes, I knew I was going to mess it up. That's why I'm sitting there stumbling over my words.
Brother.
Hey, it keeps growing. I'm kind of starting to mess them up. The Point Bluefin Tuna Tournament, and then the Heroes Benefit Fishing Tournament, and then what was it? September
Annual Heroes Offshore Adventure.
Annual Heroes Offshore Adventure.
So oddly enough, we started joking about creating the Earnhardt Outdoors mini-series. And it's been mentioned in the fall doing a Wahoo tournament. So I don't foresee that happening this year, but we joked about having a mini series. We joked about doing more than one tournament. I mean, we're already now sitting at 2 within 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So we might, if we're not real careful, have our Earnhardt Outdoors point system tournament. Just you got to see where things go.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't want to rush into anything, and
Okay. Hey, look, you know what? It's always it's nice to look down the road, and I'll tell you, Wahoo's probably one of my most favorite eating fish of all time.
Oh, it's really great.
Absolutely.
Oh
yes,
my
it is.
Gosh, son!
Sorry, I don't understand.
You going to understand?
You're going to figure this out. You don't understand that Wahoo's the best.
Well, guys, best of luck with all the tournaments and everything that are coming up and all the different stuff that y'all are participating in. Again, I'm going to post in the description of this podcast will be a link for people to click on so they can get more information and get y'all hooked up with them if they need it, if they want to fish, if they want to donate, however they want to be a part of it. I'm going to get them all squared away so that they can do that. So, guys,
awesome.
Mr. Earnhardt, Mr. Bates, thank you for joining me today, and I'll be down south to hang out with y'all for sure when May rolls around.
Appreciate you having us, Justin.
Appreciate you, Justin. And hey, thanks for all your connections you have made with Tim and people that you know in that area and supporting us and helping us find sponsors like you have. It's been a blessing.
Proud to do it.
We can't forget to give Mike at Carolina Barbecue a shout out.
Mike, he doesn't need one. No. All right, so I'm going to edit this part out.
Edit, remove.
Guys, again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, this has been a special edition of the Outer Banks This Week podcast. Do want to thank Mr. Bates and Mr. Earnhardt for being here to talk to me about the Heroes Benefit Fishing Tournament down in Hatteras. And it starts again, May 28th, ends on the 31st. I'm going to be down there hanging out with the group, having a good time with them. So it's at Frisco Woods Campground. It's going to be the jump off point. So many fun activities taking place and all for a great cause. So thank you for listening to this special edition of the Outer Banks This Week podcast.